It was exactly 3:17 a.m. when she assumed I was fast asleep. I lay completely motionless, my back facing her, breathing slow and steady as if lost in dreams. The door gave a faint creak, followed by the muffled tread of feet sinking into the carpet. Then came the gentle thump of high heels being removed, carefully, deliberately, like a teenager sneaking home after curfew. A scent lingered in the air, sharp and unfamiliar. Cologne. Not mine, not anything I'd ever worn. She moved with the furtiveness of someone trying to hide in shadows, as if the darkness itself could cover the stains of what she had done. But I wasn't asleep. I hadn't been for a long time. Each unexplained shift in her schedule, every sudden late meeting, every flimsy excuse had been another brick in the wall of certainty I'd been building. She slid into bed beside me, the mattress dipping under her weight. A sigh escaped her, content, almost indulgent, as though the night had been tiring in all the ways she wanted. And in that instant, I knew without doubt. Not just that she had betrayed me, but that she carried no guilt. My silence, she believed, meant ignorance. She thought she could keep telling the same stories forever. What she didn't realize was that I had already seen it all. Bank statements littered with charges at places she claimed she'd never been. A second phone, hidden away. A hotel room reserved under an alias, a name she once used back when we were still falling in love. That was the cut that went deepest. The very tricks she once used to charm me were now tools for deception. I didn't confront her that night. I didn't demand explanations or shout. I waited. Sometimes quiet cuts sharper than any raised voice. While she was out at what she described as a last-minute networking dinner, I made my move. My side of the closet. Emptied. Clothes, shoes, even the wedding photo she swore should always stay centered. The bed on my side was stripped bare. My dresser drawers emptied. The safe cleared. My name removed from the lease, the bills, even the Netflix account. And on her pillow, I left an envelope. Inside were divorce papers, signed and dated, along with a single line scrawled in bold, black ink. I hope he was worth it. I didn't stay to see her find it. Instead, I parked down the street, watching from a distance as the bedroom light snapped on minutes later. The blinds were never fully closed, and I could see her silhouette frozen beside the bed. I imagined her fingers brushing the envelope, her shoulders tensing, her breath catching. I didn't need to see her face. I'd pictured it countless times. The shock, the sting of realization, the first flicker of understanding that I'd never been as blind as she thought. Her calls began before dawn. 30 in total. Each voicemail carried the same mixture of panic and disbelief, her desperation wrapped in a voice that had once felt like home. I didn't answer. I wouldn't give her the satisfaction of a fight. I had already spent too many nights pouring myself into someone who left me empty. That night, I checked into a quiet guest house on the edge of town. The owner handed me the keys with a warm smile and no questions. The next morning, I woke without the crushing weight of suspicion pressing on me. I brewed coffee, sat by the window, and watched the sunrise over a life no longer bound to her lies. Freedom came with its own ache. Walking away is never clean. That first night alone, I cried into a pillow, shouted until my throat burned. I grieved not only for my marriage but for the version of myself who stayed too long. And yet, beneath the hurt, I felt something solid, an unshakable sense that I had chosen truth, and that choice was worth every tear. 2 weeks passed without a word from me. Friends began reaching out, unsure of what had happened. My answer was always the same. Ask her. Word traveled quickly. She never admitted the betrayal, but she made sure to tell everyone how I had suddenly left, how cold I had become, as if she had expected me to keep swallowing lies night after night. Then one morning, I opened the cabin door, and there she was. No makeup, hair pulled back, eyes swollen from lack of sleep. She looked at me like someone seeing a ghost from another life, hesitant, aching, searching for something familiar. "Please," she whispered. "Can we talk?" I stepped aside, not from pity, but because I needed closure. She entered slowly, her eyes scanning the bare wooden walls. We sat across from each other, and she began to speak. How it wasn't supposed to happen. How she felt something missing inside herself. How the other man made her feel alive in ways she claimed I couldn't. I listened in silence until her voice cracked and her eyes filled with tears. Then I spoke the only 7 words I had been holding since the night I knew. You lost me the moment you lied. The air between us stilled. She reached for my hand, the same way she once reached for forgiveness. I didn't move. Her fingers hovered in the empty space between us, just like all the promises she'd never kept. I stood, walked to the door, and held it open. Goodbye, I said. She didn't beg. She simply stepped into the cold morning, finally beginning to understand what it meant to have nothing left to hold on to.